Good afternoon, everybody. We have our teen buddy Hiya here, and today her mother is visiting us. This is the last session. We're going to miss you here. And can you share your SSS journey with your mom, please?
So SSS initially started back in 2015 September, and it started with 5 pillow waste and 5 buddies. Buddies are someone who help out each other when it comes to sorting scrap and cutting, sorting, etc. So usually we think about plastic and paper as landfills, but very few people are aware about the fact that even waste cloth and scrap is also their part of the landfill. So many, like majority of the society tends to neglect it. And so here we are, and our main aim is to collect that waste scrap. Mostly we go to tailor shops and we can get the waste scrap. And what we do here is we sort, we cut, there's standard measurements which we use to sort and cut. And finally we stitch. We have our adult buddies as well who stitch with the needles and all. Other than that, we have the sewing machine. So this is one of the bag which they used for with the waste scrap, and they sorted and cut it. Then, so here's the pillow. Okay. So usually whenever, even if we are cutting and sorting, there's still like small scrap left, which is something which we can't do anything about, and eventually we have to trash it. But what we are doing over here is that small scrap, we fill it into the pillows. So these are the cushions also which we gifted to charity. And then here are some examples, like, so this are like the long panels. So if they're like a lot of big scrap as well which you get, so we usually, what we do is we stitch it. So it can be used maybe as a sheet or blanket, which can be gifted as well. Then this is, we even get like denim as scrap, so that can also be used. One thing to keep in mind is that materials such as chiffon is something which usually we do not stitch, or even like those cloth which have like embroidery and stuff, because the machines over here which we're using are domestic machines, and it becomes difficult to sew and stitch using the machines. Then this is another one. So this is like a 5x5 panel which we use. So this all is like stitched using the sewing machine. Here is an example of like a very huge and enormous scrap. But this is not really enormous, but like the long scrap as well. So we don't only expect small, but we expect like long and even huge scrap. Yeah. We even tend to get like uneven and undivided scrap as well from here. So what we do is we just cut it, and then there are like standard measurements, like I said, 5x5 or 10x10, and accordingly we stitch and we create panels.
Thank you, Hiya, for sharing about SSS. Could you share a little bit about your own journey as to when you came here, and then how your perspective has changed in a brief couple of lines? Yeah.
So honestly, like the first session, it was really informative. Like there were old buddies as well which were helping and guiding us out, and this was a new learning for me, and it was a new experience as well. I personally as well wasn't very aware about society coming up with taking land the waste scrap, recycling fabrics, exactly. And then as and when days went by, I was getting excited for the sewing machine as well, because I have never honestly like touched the sewing machine. Only I've seen in the tailors they use it. So yeah.
Great. So you learned a new skill. Very good.
Yes.
And I'd like to ask your mom, did you see any changes in Hiya since she joined SSS journey?
Although it's not with the recycling or sustainability what you are doing, this is just being disciplined.
Very good.
That's
Thank you.
thing.
I hear that often. Yeah, I hear that
That's
often.
one thing we learned. Yeah, she was into recycling and sustainability earlier as well, but with reference to books or toners, but this might plastics, but these fabrics, even I have never heard about earlier. But I think
Thank
she
you.
is ready now to run a recycling drive or creating awareness in the school as well on the same.
Perfect. That is exactly what we want, is more people to realize this. And we actually do not want to see scrap. We want to see everyone saving their own scrap. That is our mission ultimately. So thank you very much for being a buddy, and we're going to miss you from next week. Thank you very much. Bye. Take care.